Okay, fuck yeah, man. Here we are.
Yeah.
I got my main man, Roby Bobo. I got Ali motherfucking G in the house.
His house.
Yeah, Civic Hotel, 48th floor. Beautiful fucking day out.
Hold on. How come I can't get a fucking cool name like that? It's always Robbo Bebo and all this other
T-Bop
crap.
J and
RTB.
RTB. Hey, hold on. I got something here. Like I grew up in Surrey. Like I moved over here when I was 12 and stuff like that. But I got something here for one of my first things that ever happened to me while
introduction.
Introduction to Guildford.
Right.
So, anyways, we lived in Maple Place, apartment 235. I think the address is 10643. You know, 150th Street. It was my. It was like, honestly, not even been there a week, and my dad's like, Rob, you have to go to the store, and I was like, oh fuck, okay, whatever. And it's like 8:00. It's like, you know, it's roughly around this time in between Halloween and maybe Remembrance Day. And so he gives me the money, and I trek across the field, and I go up to, Tom's Food Market and shit, and I get my dad some cigarettes, some Green Death, and some bread and some Kool-Aid, right? It's a weird shopping list, but that's what he asked me to go get. So anyways, I go there, I get it, and I'm on the way back. And if you guys know where Dead Man's Path meets Hollyfield, the upper part of Hollyfield,
right, yeah,
right there where you're walking down it.
Yep.
So I was right there, and there was these four fucking huge guys, like they're four big guys, and they come up to me and they're like, hey, what do you got there? And I was just like, oh, I got some little bit of things from the store or whatever. And they surrounded me, right? And they're like, do you mind if we have a look? I was like, and so they just gently took the bag. They're like, oh, no, yeah, actually, and they asked me what was in there, because, whatever. And I was like, bread and Kool-Aid, right?
Yeah.
And then, so this person, I don't know if you guys know him, Jason Porter, he's the one that grabbed the bag, and he handed it off to, I think it was Kerry Jarvis. Right? Handed off the bag. And Kerry Jarvis opens it, and he's like looking through there. He's like, yeah, bread, Kool-Aid. Oh, and there's some cigarettes in here too. And I remember Porter going, are you lying? I was like, no, I just forgot. I was scared shitless, right? And so anyways, they're like, do you have any money on you? I was like, no. They're like, you're not lying, are you? I was like, no, I'm not. And then they just nonchalantly just walked away, right? And I remember I was like trembling with fear.
Like walked away with
the groceries and the cigarettes, right? Yes. Walked away with the shit, right? And so now I have to go, and now I get back into the side door, and I'm going upstairs. I'm like, fuck, man, my dad's gonna be pissed, right? And so I get up there, and I'm like, he's like, hey, did you get my cigarettes? I was like, yeah, I don't have them. He's like, what the fuck do you mean you don't have them? I was like, I just got robbed out there. He's like, what the fuck do you mean you got robbed? How can you let this happen to you? And I was just like, I'm ready to break down and cry, right? Now I'm getting fucking shit from my dad for I did not know who Jason Porter, Kerry Jarvis, and there's Craig Anderson, I believe Derek Wine.
Derek Wine.
I did not know who these motherfuckers were when I was there, right? And I wasn't about to fight. I would have got my fucking head kicked.
Well, yeah, because you were only like, what, 12?
Right.
Yeah, I was 12, yeah. Right. Yeah, 12, 13 years old, right? And anyways, my dad wouldn't how the fuck can you let this happen to you? Like, he was just on me, and I was just, I was defeated.
Right.
I was defeated. And then my brother steps in there. He's like, why don't you shut the fuck up and get off your ass and go get your own fucking cigarettes, right? And I was like, oh, this is probably one of the only 2 times that my brother's ever stood up for me and ever helped me out.
Oh, that's awesome.
And he's like, he's like, yeah, you should get off your fucking ass and go get your own fucking cigarettes. Don't yell at him like that. He got fucking mugged, right? And all of a sudden you hear my dad, "Shut the fuck up, John." He's like, "No, fuck you, you fat fucking piece of shit," or whatever he said. Right? They used to have a really good relationship.
Yeah,
right?
exactly right.
And I just remember, and then my brother's like, "Don't worry, man." He's like, "Don't worry, it'll probably happen to you a lot more in life." And I was like, I was like, really? Like, what the fuck, man? And yeah, so that was my first introduction to the Guildford, Surrey, Whalley area.
Yeah. Oh,
It was
fuck,
it was crazy, man.
That is funny.
Yeah,
man.
but so anyways, after my dad had finished yelling at me, my brother finished yelling at my dad. I found out years later when I actually met Jason Porter and Carrie and all them.
Yeah.
And I told them, I was like, "You guys mugged me back in the day for my bread and Kool-Aid." And they started howling. They were like, "That was you? That was you?" And they're like, "Oh yeah, don't forget the Green Death too." He's like, "We could
cigarettes.
barely smoke those." And so I guess what they did was they went down at Holly School. We had a pretty wild jungle gym down there, but there was like this house thing that was in the playground.
Right, right.
And I guess they all huddled up in there and they were pouring their hands were so cold, they said, and they were ripping the Kool-Aid open and pouring it on the bread and eating it.
Ghetto sandwich, man.
Yeah,
right
I
there.
remember bumping into them. They told me the story. They were like, "We should kick that guy's ass because we were eating Kool-Aid and bread."
With some sour fucking bread.
And it was the Kool-Aid without sugar.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And I think it was grape and what was the green one? Green apple Kool-Aid or something?
No, that would have been like
Lime,
just lime back
just
then.
straight lime, grape,
Yeah.
lime,
They didn't have no
orange.
green apple back in those days.
But yeah, and when they told me, I was just like, "Fuck!" I was
That's
laughing at
awesome.
pouring bread onto Kool-Aid and eating it.
Fuck, man.
Sounds like something Derek Wine would do for sure.
Yeah.
Like I said, my brother, he's only helped me out like twice,
Right.
and that was one where he stood
Yeah.
up to my dad. Like my dad would never beat us or anything.
Yeah.
But, if I ever swore at my dad like that, he would probably have smacked me, right?
Oh, probably.
But John, he was 16, so he's like, "Fuck this old man," right? But the other time that my brother actually helped me out is I was walking up the hill from my mom's house, and you remember my mom's house? She lived on
In
a big
Port
hill,
Alberni.
yeah. And anyways, it was a big hill, and I'm walking my bike up there, and there's these guys my brother was sitting on the front steps, and there's these guys across the street, and there was 3 of them, and they were directly across, and they're like, "Hey, nice bike," and I was like, "Thank you." And I remember walking a little bit faster so my brother could see me, right? And
Right.
I knew exactly what these guys were going to do,
Yeah.
right? And they're like, "Nice bike," and I was just like, and they're like, and they said something else, and I can't really remember, but I knew my brother was an eye shot of me now,
Yeah.
and I remember like turning sideways and flipping him the bird.
Without your brother
Seeing
seeing
it.
though.
Yeah, without my brother seeing it, right? And anyways, these 3 guys now, but now I'm like right at my mom's yard, and these 3 guys come up to me and they're like, "Give us your fucking bike," and I was like, "No," and they're like, and they're getting aggressive trying to pull it, and I'm
Yeah.
holding on to my bike,
Right.
because heaven forbid I'd have to tell like my mom that my bike got stolen.
Yeah.
My mom's a lot nicer than my dad. And so anyways, my brother's like, "Why don't you pick on someone your own fucking size?" And the guy was like, "Fuck you." And my brother was waiting for his friends, right? And they were on their way there. That's why he was outside. And my brother's like, "No, why don't you fucking pick on someone your own size?" And so these guys walked into the yard, and my brother was he's like, "Wait there." And this fucking guy, I guess he knew karate or something, and he tried one of those double fucking scissor kicks right off the hop. And he went too high and too far, and my brother ducked and bounced back up, and the guy landed on his back and directly on his back on the sidewalk. And he was like, he's like confident breathing. My brother said, "Fuck this," but he didn't give a shit, man. He got on top of him, and he's just pounding his fucking face, and every time he'd hit him, he'd be like, and he like this, and just as his friends were about to like jump in, my brother's friends came and they spun the car around, right? And, oh man, but yeah, thank you, John.
That's awesome.
one of the
Oh
only
yeah,
2
Rocker
times he
John. Rocker John.
Yeah, that's good, man.
Terry Berry. Oh,
Yeah, one of the only 2 times he ever stuck up for me. Yeah, but
that's awesome.